So we're here for another Q&A session. This week we've got Nothing Rhymes with Orange. If you want to introduce yourself, lads.
Hi, I'm Eli.
I'm Finn.
So Nothing Rhymes with Orange, for those who don't know, are from Bristol. I was lucky enough to see them last year when they supported Skinner Brothers with Eaton Mess.
Yeah,
So how was that for you guys? How was that?
yeah,
How
that
did
was
that come
great fun.
about?
Playing in the exchange. I think that was the we've played in the exchange a couple times now. It's like a really busy Bristol venue, isn't it?
It's like
Yeah,
it's like the kind of venue. There's always just
Yeah,
mad stuff
always,
going on
yeah.
there.
But I think that was the first time we ever played upstairs, wasn't it? I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it was great fun. It was great fun. Like,
yeah,
sounds really good there, and Eat and Mess were really nice. You couldn't really talk to Skinner Brothers because they got the whole anonymous thing going on. But
yeah.
chatted to Eat and Mess, and yeah, we're still in touch with them now because they're Bristol based. So yes,
Yeah, we work with Eton Mess quite a bit as well, and they're great. They're really great. They've got a lot of great music out as well at the moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um, so we're going to go on to some of the Q&A questions from the community and that there. So the first question we have here is, if you could tour with any artist, who would it be and why?
that is an insane question. That is,
I think we've probably all got really different answers for
Y-
that purely because we all just listen to really different music to each other.
yeah,
We
Yeah,
listen to the same music in parts, but I don't know. I think we'd all have a different answer if all of us were
yeah.
here. But
I know Sam would say the Arctic Monkeys,
yeah,
the guitarist. Um, uh, what would you say?
I don't know.
Blink-182.
Probably not because I think they would Blink-182 wouldn't have us because they'd be like, oh, look at these indie freaks, go away. You know. I don't know. I'd probably just say like something like the 1975, to be
I
honest.
was oh,
That
that's
would be
I
nuts.
was thinking that, because
That would be
that'd be
like
their
cool.
live
actually mad.
shows, yeah, their live shows are so not like anything
Mm,
else, and to just go around the world with them, lot, that would be pretty mad because they've done a lot
yeah.
of stuff.
Louis would either
Yeah,
say the Jackson 5 or Wonder Horse or something.
Yeah, yeah.
so then we've got, but what would be then your dream festival or venue to play if you were playing with that artist?
Glastonbury, I think, is the
Yeah,
Dream
yeah.
Festival. It's the main one, and
It's
it's like,
everyone's dream, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, it's a lovely place as well, Glastonbury. So yeah,
Yeah,
it'd just be great fun, and I like the vibe of that festival a
We
lot.
did we kind of did a show in a way there a while ago called the Pelton Stage, and we afterwards it was like so hot, it was like midsummer, and we just walked around, and it's just up the road from where Glastonbury is, and we
yeah,
walked over and kind of went and stood up on the hill and looked at the stage being built, and it was just really cool.
The
It's such a nice
1975
place.
are headlining, aren't they?
This year,
This year,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
this
that
year,
might
yeah.
be actually.
good little combination. Get us there.
And where do you see the band then in 5 years' time?
As big as it can get, really.
Glastonbury.
Yeah, Glastonbury.
Yeah, hopefully at Glastonbury with 1975.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we all have just like moved out and we all live together, and the main goal is just to gig as much as possible, get the music out there, and get it as big as we can do. Yeah,
Yeah,
play the biggest shows we can, like release the biggest songs we can make, the best songs we can make, and reach the most people we can. Yeah.
yeah. So it's getting a lot more active for you guys then at the moment. With moving in together, you're getting a lot more time to be able to commit to the music side of things.
I think, yeah, definitely. We've been practicing quite a bit recently. We've been writing quite a lot, and we got like, I think, because we started the band when we were really young, like 16, ish.
Yeah,
Like,
It was like between 14 and 17 when we started. I was 14 and
yeah,
Stan was like 17.
yeah.
Um,
But it was like, yeah, but that was like our first sort of writing came when we were really young. I think it's definitely changed a lot since then. And I think being in a different location as well and being listening to more and more music all the time has like really changed the way we write songs and the style of songs we're writing. And I think,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And so how long have you guys been together now then?
It's been about, so I'd say we formed in 2022, like, and started in school. We all started
Yeah.
at the end of,
We did like open days and stuff at our secondary school for a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, it's all
yeah,
still very relatively new to you
Yeah.
guys at the moment
yeah,
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And
It
then I
was
just entered us for a battle of the bands without asking, and we had no songs, and we just did it. And then we're like, okay,
Just,
we should probably
yeah,
keep
just
doing
wing it.
yeah,
Sometimes they're the best experiences. So how did
100%.
all that come about? How did you guys meet and the band actually get formed?
It was all in secondary school. Like we all had sort of mutual friends, and we had a friend who got us in a room all together, and then Finn obviously got us on the Battle of the Bands, as he just said.
I think I'm always going to be resented for that
Yeah,
in a
no,
way.
well, no, because it started the band,
Yeah.
and really, we had no songs, and it was sort of a requirement to have some original songs,
Yeah.
and those original songs we ended up writing for the Battle of the Bands were the first songs
First
we
that
have on
came out.
Spotify, so like Butterflies and all
Ciao for
stuff,
now.
yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the early stuff is like what we ended up with.
And how did you come up with the band name then?
Um, that is, yeah. I was sat at home watching a TV show called Parks and Recreation,
Yeah.
um, one of my favorite shows. And it's like in the first season, the character called Andy's going through all these band names that he used to have. And he's like, everything rhymes with orange, something rhymes with orange, nothing rhymes with orange. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Bear in mind, I
Yeah,
was
it
about
just worked.
14, so I thought that was really cool when I was 14. And it stopped being as cool. Now I'm not 14,
Nah,
but
but yeah, I think we're stuck.
it's,
We're stuck, and I love it now.
yeah,
We all had our times of hating it, but yeah, we're like, because it always sparks a conversation,
works
Yeah,
and
it
well on
gets
a
people
poster as well.
thinking.
yeah,
Works really well on a poster because it just takes up loads of space.
Yeah. So all they see is your name. This is
yeah.
what they're there for, you know? So what is the song then you're most proud of as a band?
One that's released or one that we've written?
Completely up to you guys.
Can I say what I'm thinking?
I know what you're going to say, so
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
go for it.
So we've sort of been uh working on something at the minute, and it's called Shearwater, which is like a place near Longley, but which is what it's named after. But it's quite an emotional song, but I think my writing in that song I'm really satisfied with, and it took a while to sort of reach that point. But after like I wrote it by myself and I took it to the band and we sort of turned it into this sort of big indie like emotional
Mega ballad.
yeah ballad.
Yeah.
But it's that is my favorite and that is the song I'm most proud of. And I think after doing that song we're like our writing sort of has matured a little bit as well since even like newer ones like Friday Is Over. I think it definitely
Yeah.
changed the trajectory of the band a little bit. But
Yeah, the difference between the difference between Friday's Over and the kind of thing we're writing now that isn't out is, it's
yeah,
Yeah.
still similar enough, but it's just so much more mature and
yeah,
better.
I'm very very excited for people to hear um what we've made because
It doesn't sound like a 16-year-old anymore.
yeah, it's
You can see the growth there.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, and is there any, can you share when we're looking for that to come out? Or
I don't
We
think we actually know,
yeah,
to
we
be
don't
honest.
know ourselves, but soon.
it
The
is in the pipeline?
soon.
Keep an eye out because
Yeah.
yeah, there's some stuff coming.
And what is the creative process behind like when you guys normally write together?
It's quite different each time, I say. I think yeah, it's
It
like so I'll do the
ranges.
lyrics. I'll do the lyrics like every time and then we're all like either like work together or like two of us will do the instrumentation or like it just all sort of comes together in different ways, but it like all ends with the four of our input like being
Yeah,
combined and then yeah,
it's never two people writing something and then the other two follow along.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
two people might write something or one person might write something, and then everyone else goes, "Oh,
I,
that
there's
bit's a bit
been
rubbish. We'll get rid of it and we'll swap it around."
there's been songs where it has been like two people and then it turns into a song, but I think like the recent sort of last two we done is quite like that. It's sort of like you start with an idea and it adds, you get something added on and then another thing added on, and yeah.
Yeah, and it grows over time between all of you. Like,
Yeah, it grows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
then what would be your favorite song to perform live then at the moment?
I think we've all got very different views on that.
Yeah, I think
Purely
so.
because we all play different things, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
I don't actually know what yours is.
I don't know what mine is either. I like playing Shearwater because that is my favorite song. But I don't know if that's my favorite to play live because there's like a different energy in each song we play, and
Yeah,
we try and bring as much energy on stage as we can. So it's yeah, it's very like, and each song has a sort of different vibe to it. So yeah, I think they're all very different, so it's quite hard to compare. But yeah,
I think mine's Stepping Up My Spine. I just find that the most
right.
fun to play. I don't know
yeah,
why actually, but it's just very fun to play. I really like it.
I know Sam would say Pedestal,
Yeah,
which is like a very, very heavy song we got. It's like quite grungy and more to the sort of like the dark side, you could say. And
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's like a very fast paced sort of heavy minor song, but and it was like the first song we wrote in a minor key. But Sam would definitely say that one because that is like very a bit different and a bit new to what we were doing a couple years ago.
um, and what do we have here? So then, who writes? You said you write the lyrics there to the songs. Who tends to write behind the music and stuff?
Well, I'm rhythm guitar, so I'll write sort of the chords behind my vocals, or Sam will sort of write a bass line, and then we'll have like sort of lead riffs on top. But it's yeah, it's I think because we all play guitar, like even so
Yeah,
Sam's the bassist, but he plays guitar. We all sort of have our own input. The only one who sort of just sticks to their own instrument is Louis because he's a drummer. So he just like makes
plays
his own.
drums.
Yeah, he makes his own beats. But we all yeah,
yeah,
we all have a say
It's
in.
very much it's all layers.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like it starts with one thing, and then we'll put something on that, and then we'll put something on that, and then we'll
it's
take
just a
something
big
away.
collaborative input
Yeah,
mainly.
it all just
yeah,
comes
yeah,
together. And
definitely.
most of our songs take about 10 different forms before we actually like it and decide to record it. I
Yeah,
know, what was it? Was it
I think.
Fridays? It's one
Oh
of the
yeah,
ones that are out.
Friday's over.
Fridays Over used to be just like a grunge song.
Yeah, Friday's
Um,
over used to be like really heavy.
and then we were kind of like, no, it's a bit cringe. So changed it up, didn't like it, changed it up again, and then it finally became what it is now. Same with Stepping Up My
yeah.
Spine as well.
Yeah, definitely. Mhm.
So then, as an independent artist, there, then how can your fans best support you?
Just come to the shows. I think that's my favorite thing. I think streams are cool, and listen to the music as much as you want because we all always appreciate it. But see, like seeing people at shows and seeing all faces and like meeting people and people like coming to watch us is always a big motivator.
Yeah,
It's really great because, and I think our live sound is what we want to sound people to think we sound like. So like our
Yeah,
Spotify, because it's got all the old tunes on there, it's not representative of like what we are now, but our live sound is just completely us in that moment, and having people support that is always the best feeling
and yeah, I
ever.
think
yeah,
yeah, but buying a ticket, buying a t-shirt, or just as like Eli said, just showing up, just being there, being like an extra face is just really cool. Every
yeah,
time, it doesn't matter whether there's 1,000 people or 10 people. It's just like people being there is always going to be really cool to
Yeah,
listen to us. Um,
yeah. And that's the thing you'll always be most appreciative of, especially where you've got, obviously, we talk about Spotify and things like that, and the rate Spotify pay like artists and stuff now. There's been
mm,
changes recently, hasn't there?
mm,
Where if your track doesn't get 1,000 streams within the first year, you don't actually earn anything off that track moving
really?
forward.
Wow.
That was announced about 3 days ago.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
realize that.
yeah, so that's a new one on there. Obviously, I know
Pressure.
Bandcamp is really good for you guys with the Bandcamp Fridays and stuff.
Mm.
Um, where you get all the money and obviously merch as well is the way
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. There's definitely like some platforms which are better choices than others to stream off, but it's yeah, I think streams for me at the minute is like,
It's
I,
always nice to look at and go, oh, we've got X amount of streams. That's really cool.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything. It
No.
doesn't help
well,
us if
yeah,
we've got loads of streams.
it
It
do,
doesn't give us anything
it
other
doesn't
than
mean
a good
anything if
impression.
there's no one at our shows,
Yeah.
because that's for me personally. I mean, it does mean a lot, but if I could have like a million streams, but if we put on like a show and no one came, then I think I'd rather do the vice versa and be like anonymous on Spotify.
It's the big thing with like TikTok and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
and
you've got a
then
massive following, but nobody's going to come see you live or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously both is always better, and we appreciate it all. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely like playing live and seeing people and meeting new faces and meeting new bands. It's all great experience.
Yeah, there's a lot of like the crowd interaction as well, especially when you start getting you seeing the same faces at a couple of shows and stuff. That's when you sort of know, we're sort of building a bit of a following here.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That we did Gig Life Crisis like back in January, and just seeing all the people just keep coming out to our gigs and shows, it's really motivating and it's really great. It's like a just Facebook group full of all these music enthusiasts, and yeah, they
Yeah,
all
it's just like I don't know how many people in the group, but it's just so many people that
yeah,
just
Yeah,
love just love live music, and always come out to every show, not really any matter where it is at all. Um, yeah.
yeah.
so, and then what would you say your strengths and weaknesses are then being a musician?
This is like this is what we do in our music college course: strengths and
Oh,
weaknesses.
that's the degree assessment questions. That is
Our
what do
weaknesses.
you think you're good at?
I got a good weakness. We do not play well on an empty stomach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolute shite.
true.
Sorry, can I swear? But yeah,
yeah, you're
no,
fine.
yeah, we can't. We yeah, if we haven't had food, then
Yeah,
don't come to our show. No, I'm joking.
yeah.
But
And
we
if you
yeah.
are, bring us food if
Yeah,
you think we're gonna be hungry.
we'll be in a bad mood with each other if we haven't eaten, you know. Like we always like when we go to the studio, we always bring like bags and bags of
I
food to
remember the
keep
first
us
time we
food there.
went because we'll do like a 3 day or a 2 day stint in the studio to do one song. And I remember the first day we turned up, we just didn't ever in that studio that we're recording now, didn't bring any food. We're just all sitting there going, all we're doing is sitting around. This is really hard work. And then the second day, we stopped off at M&S or something on the way there and
Yeah.
just came in with like 3 big carrier bags. And the two producers looked at us like, what the hell are you doing? We've never
Yeah,
seen this before, ever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We're big foodies, I'd say. We go out to eat quite a lot
Yeah.
so if
together.
Every
anyone's
day.
coming to the gigs, just bring chips.
Bring
Yeah.
chips, throw the chips on stage.
It's yeah, it
I'll
was
catch them in my mouth.
every time every time we
That's
go
all
to
we
a
do
new
to that.
city. Every time we go to a new city, we just go and find. We always tell each other we're going to go and find a really nice new food spot, and always end up in a KFC.
Yeah,
It's just like,
yeah,
oh, we'll stop off for food on the way back as well. And it's just eating in a Mackey's car park.
yeah.
It's just, you know,
What would you say our strengths are?
um, finding food places. To be honest,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
literally
yeah,
like
yeah,
finding
Finding
somewhere to.
KFCs.
yeah. I think
Brick Lane was the good one for that.
yeah, Brick Lane. We went to. Have you ever heard of Chicken Shop Dates in Sheerness?
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
We went to the Chicken Shop Dates Morley's, and in
Brick
Brick Lane.
Lane.
Oh, it was good chicken. That was
Yeah,
very good.
we're playing 93 feet east, and
Yeah,
it was just finding every restaurant,
yeah.
every like
You went
fast food
you went
place.
to the bagel place as well.
Oh, on the way back, there's a it's famous for the bagels.
yeah.
It was called like Bagel Bake or something like that. It's the oldest bagel shop on Brick Lane or something. On the way back, and we got these huge bagels just filled with like pastrami and mustard and pickles
We're better at
and a
talking about
Nutella.
food than
Yeah, I don't know why we've gone on for
music.
food
Yeah.
for a while. Just
Better
shut
at
up
talking.
now.
Yeah, I think
Maybe quitting the
musically.
band, setting up a food review channel.
Yeah,
Oh
we
well,
used to.
yeah,
We
we
used
used
to
to
do
on the
food
Instagram.
reviews.
We used to do food reviews, but
I think we've still got a highlight called
yeah,
food
yeah,
somewhere.
we do have a highlight on Instagram of food reviews. But we
That's
have
quite cool.
Do we still have it? Yeah, we do. We've got.
So
Hi,
leading
Matthew.
on from that, then you said you throw chips in your mouth on stage. Have you ever had anything actually thrown at you on stage?
No,
No,
touch wood,
No,
but maybe not if it's
I don't
food.
think that's real wood. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not always a bad thing. You know, it could turn out to be bras, and you
Oh,
know.
There's one
oh
here.
yeah, yeah. We actually did get bras
I don't
thrown
know
at us.
why I still have this, but I do have this from a gig we did.
He's got it to hand.
Yeah,
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 it's signed on
He
the
was
inside.
prepared.
yeah, yeah. We got a
Signed
signed bra.
We got a signed bra from about 2 years ago in Bristol.
Yeah, and that's not the only time as well. I think inside one of Louis' drums is someone's
Yeah, I
bra
think
as
that's his
well.
old. He's just got a new drum kit, but somebody's bra is in the bass drum of his
Yeah,
old drum kit.
yeah, which is quite fun.
He just keeps going, right, I need to take that out before someone notices it, and
Yeah,
he
I
never does
forgot.
it.
I forgot about the bras.
Yeah.
I think it's only happened twice, but that has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please don't
So
do it.
moving sort of outside of the like music side of things, what are your guys' more personal hobbies? What do you do outside of band time?
I think getting food,
Getting food,
going to the gym sometimes.
doing some music by ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Walking. We like nature.
Yeah,
We went on a sponsored walk last year. And we walked, I think it was like 30 miles in 2 days because it was like the Glastonbury weekend. So we walked from like
Frome or something, wasn't
Westbury, I think.
it?
Yeah, or like back where we live, it was like we went through Westbury and then all the way to Glastonbury, and it was great fun. It was great fun just walking through the woods and different places. It wasn't a
yeah.
great route, but it was very fun. And I think we're gonna do it again this year. We're gonna go on a walk down in Cornwall
What
or
we're doing?
something.
I think we're doing Weymouth to Southampton or
Oh,
something
not
like that.
Cornwall, yeah, Weymouth. Yeah, yeah, I think so.
I don't know,
Nice.
something down there.
Yeah.
And have you ever had troubles then with performance anxiety then within the band?
I think we do, but we keep it to ourselves if we do. I think
Yeah,
we never let it show, but I think I never think we've been really nervous. We've
No, yeah.
definitely done big gigs where we've kind of been like, oh, okay, we feel it now. I know we did. Was it Comedia the other
Yeah,
day?
yeah,
We
yeah.
did Comedia in Bath, which is just a huge venue.
Do you know what does give me nerves is playing. So the college we go to, BIM, they sometimes do sort of music showcases and put different bands on, and then playing to music students is the scariest thing ever because they're watching your every move,
Yeah, and
yeah,
every move.
it's
Like,
also like when we do a normal gig, it's kind of like, okay, if we mess up, we don't actually have to see you again and we don't have to speak to you. But if we
wait,
mess up in front of no, because like if we mess up in front of them, we don't think they're going to come and critique us and we don't have to see them tomorrow
yeah,
and they're
yeah,
not going to mention it to us.
yeah,
But if we
yeah,
mess up in front of the uni students, it's like we'll see you next week and we know that you've noticed something and we messed up.
yeah.
So it's always much
it's
more
It's
nerve-wracking.
always much worse than you think it is though. Like a mess up would normally be like
Funny.
a wrong note or a stutter or something, and it's like it's just part of the show. I think keeping it live.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no two performances I find are ever going to be the same.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's always best. I think it's just keeping like if you mess up, it's just part of the live thing. It's yeah, like
Yeah,
the new Viagra Boys record. He like burps in one of the takes.
Yeah.
Ni-
Oh, what is
ni-
it? Is it Uno 2?
Yeah, I think so.
Overweight freaks. No, it's Man Made of Meat.
Yeah, but he burps in one of the takes and they kept it in, and it's just like little things like that. I know that's a recording, but it's like it's just quite cool. I
yeah.
don't
Sometimes
burp
it can
while I'm
make the
singing.
performance.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And how do you guys differ from other artists then around at the moment?
I think partly being ourselves. I think we we like to think that we're not sort of doing something too similar to any artist. We bring all our influences like together. So Finn's obviously got his like 90s pop punk and his like sort of Midwest emo stuff, and then Sam's got his like sort of like grunge and his Arctic Monkeys,
Stone Roses and stuff.
yes, minor chords, and
Yeah,
I've got sort of my singer-songwriter stuff, and Louis's got whatever the hell he's got,
Yeah.
and
I don't even
yeah,
know.
and
Nobody knows.
I think we sort of create a really good combination of a lot of things without sounding too much like anything. I like to think.
I
Like,
think we draw influence without making it obvious,
yeah,
Yeah,
which is always, I think, a good thing.
yeah,
In that, you can write like somebody else, and nobody's going to go, hold on a second, that sounds like such and such the band song, which is when you're kind of like,
yeah,
oh, it does as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
always like call each other out if we do something too similar. And also, I think we have a very diverse set now. I think we got a lot of different things for
Oh, I wish I had
everyone,
said
and we're
this.
just like playing music for everyone in the room, you know.
yeah.
We want a song for everyone, and like, Sam's got his heavy one and we got the slower one, and we got like, yeah, we just try and make our set quite diverse with still sounding like us and not going too far anywhere,
Which is good if, especially if you have like new fans and stuff coming to
yeah.
gigs. They might not be fast on every song, but it could be that one that just catches their ear, and then they go in on socials and stuff and finding you through that afterwards. So what would be the favorite performance memory for you guys?
Wow. I think it's when we did our first sort of headline back when we were still at like sixth forms and school. And
Yeah,
it was like we put we used Spotify, but we released a new song called Butterflies. And it was like the first time we did a gig, and was like over 100 people, and they were just all singing the lyrics, and I was like pretty taken back by the fact that all these like people that I knew and didn't know as well were like singing my lyrics back to me that I'd just written with Louis in a
Yeah.
garage.
It was,
It's
it
yeah,
was, yeah, it was nuts because in Butterflies there's like a drop down section where it's just like the chorus lyrics, I think,
yeah,
and we just kept doing it. We'd carried on doing that same bit for like 2 minutes.
yeah.
And it was like, and we'll do it again, and just kept going, and it was a pretty
just see how
mental.
far we can take this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, until people actually start walking out. We've not even finished the set.
Yeah. Just keep playing all day.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of gigs that we always go, that's our favorite gig ever. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of shows
I've
with
had favorite
funny
gigs.
memories,
Yeah. Memories in
amazing
particular, yeah.
memories, sad, like bad ones, bad experiences.
I had a mad experience last week. So we played
Oh, this is brilliant. I know what you're
this
gonna
is
say.
insane. So we played Dot to Dot, and
right.
then I went to watch after our set, I went to watch a new band called Keo, and they were brilliant.
Like
They
the
were
Thekla,
Yeah, it was at the Thekla, and they were brilliant.
the club.
So and then me and Sam, he's not here, but he was there. So we were just walking out. Um, I looked to the bar of the Thekla, and Joe Talbot from Idols was
Yeah,
just stood at the bar with his wife. So I'm like, Sam, come on, we got to go talk to him. Like that's Joe Talbot. We can't like just leave this. So we went, and I tapped him on the shoulder, and I was like, you make like the best music I've ever heard. Can I have a hug, please? And he turned around, and he was so levered, and we hugged, and then he just started kissing me on the neck, and then we like sort of spaced out again and just looked at each other, and then we just kissed on the lips, and and it was like the weirdest experience I've had. And it's like Joe Talbot from the Idols, and I just walked away, and I looked at Sam. I was like, Sam, I've just kissed Joe Talbot from Idols on the lips. Like, when I say that out loud, that just doesn't. That is
in front of
insane.
his wife.
Yeah, yeah, in front of his wife, she was pissing herself. She was like,
Me and Louis weren't with him because we'd just gone back. We'd gone and seen this other band with our friends.
Yeah,
And then we'd gone back to the flat, and we were just sitting around going, God, when are those two getting back? Sam and Eli come in through the door, tell us this story, and it's what?
yeah, it
Like,
was actually insane. Like, it was just mad. I think that is a pretty good memory to have. Yeah,
that's a really good.
yeah.
So what advice then would you give to aspiring musicians?
Keep going.
don't stop.
Yeah, just keep going. Don't look back or don't overthink. Just like make your music and put it out. Don't be a perfectionist, because that way you'll never get anywhere. it's better out and moving. You know, it's
Yeah,
music. The music you make. If you want to be a musician, um, it's a business. If you want to make it for yourself, then do whatever you like. You know. But if you want to stay in the business, like you got to post your song whether it's perfect or not. Just keep going, send it everywhere.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
there's been I know there's
keep
been a couple
playing.
of times. I don't know whether it goes for everybody else, but there's been a couple of times when we were kind of starting out that
yeah,
we do a gig or something, and it kind of wouldn't be as good as we'd hoped, and I'd just be like, "Oh, do I actually really want to do this? Do I want to keep doing this? Because it's taken up a lot of time and it's not really
yeah,
doing anything." And then you just kind of stick at it for the sake of it, and it just keeps going, and
Yeah.
you end up growing and growing, and you know,
yeah. And would you
there's
say
always been a
sort of
good
then your views changed on that over time?
Sorry, what was that?
Would you say then your view over time since you've joined the band has changed on that?
What my view on my view
Uh,
on
we were saying about when you first joined the band, you wasn't too fast, didn't sort of live to the expectations, but over time, has that sort of changed for you?
That's good.
I think when we started, we had an idea in our heads that we were going to be massive instantly,
Yeah,
which I think a lot of people do. I mean, I know I did when we started. I was kind of like, yeah, we're going to be huge within like 3 months. Everyone's going to love us.
And we were just kids as
Yeah.
well, you know. We were like
And
16
yeah,
making this music.
and that's not the case.
Yeah,
It's kind of you get into your head that you're going to be massive and you are massive, and it's like nobody knows who you are.
yeah,
And then you stick at it and you go, okay, this is actually really cool.
yeah. I
Like,
think you just got to keep that in your heads. Just keep it in that you are massive and you're gonna be, and don't stop. Because
yeah,
like we all sort of made the choice to like just straight up move in together. We all finished school and were just like, yeah, let's go get a flat and just play gigs and play music and you
do
know,
uni and
yeah, do
yeah,
whatever we can. And yeah, yeah. So it's like do you know, keep it in your head that
do
you're
you?
gonna be massive.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And we just keep going on it because it does tend to all pay off in the end there. So to close out the question section there now, if you could choose any artists to perform with you, who would that be and why?
With us. I'll
Oh,
say Joe Talbot.
your boyfriend.
Yeah, get him on stage, bro. Yeah, that
That'd
he's
be
got
cool.
so much energy on stage, and he shouts and he does what he does, and he's just a really lovely guy. Just and yeah, it would just be great fun, I think. And they've done a couple collabs as well. You know, they did Damaged Goods, the Damaged Goods cover, which was really good,
Yeah,
and
Oh,
they
Gang
did
of Four.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Gang Four, and it's like they I think they'd just be really fun to work with, and yeah, yeah, definitely.
I have no idea who I'd choose. I actually don't know. There's so many people, but I just couldn't. I couldn't pick one.
yeah,
I remember we were asked this a while ago, and I think I said it earlier. Louis' first choice, the drummer, his first choice was the Jackson Five. It was like if you could pick anyone from history to collaborate with, it was like Jackson Five. It was like we just kind of all looked at him like, what the hell are you talking about?
Brilliant
just about
musician.
out. Yeah, but just not what
Brilliant.
you expected him to say.
Not at all.
Couldn't be more different
Yeah,
to us if they
Louis
tried.
Louis quite like random in his answers, but they're always very valid.
Oh,
Yeah, they always yeah,
oh.
they're always quite shocking. They take me back every time, but I do see it. They're all really great musicians, and that would be fun, a fun collab.
Yeah. So is there anything then you want to sort of tell the community and the fans out there? Any upcoming gigs and things like that at the moment?
Yeah. So thank you first. You know, that's a big one. We appreciate everything, and it's like really great
Mm.
support. Um, and we just announced,
Our biggest headline.
yeah, probably the biggest headline we've ever done. The Old England this September in Bristol. It's September 26th, and
Yeah,
it's I think it's a Friday night, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
sort of our
Friday.
first one. We've been sort of doing gigs with this label from Manchester called Scruff of the Neck, and they've put on this show for us, and yeah, we're gonna try make the set perfect, get the sound just right, and yeah, we're really excited.
It's a
So
pretty big deal for us as well.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
kind of like,
It feels like we're hitting home
yeah,
playing
it's just
Bristol.
pretty mega
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Where can people get tickets for that then?
I think they're all on Fatsoma.
they're on our website, they're in our Instagram bio, they're on Spotify. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can just Google it as well. Nothing Rhymes with Orange, Old England, it'll come up.
Nice.
And yeah, there is, it's always on our story as well. The link's always
Yeah, we're gonna keep
um,
promoting. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and we've always got I seen your gig poster as well with the list of gigs and stuff upcoming on there. So we'll probably share that along with the interview and stuff
Yeah.
as well, and get it linked in the comments and things, so it all feeds back to you guys there.
yeah,
That's amazing.
it'd be brilliant.
Yeah, amazing.
Great. So I think that's pretty much everything for today. Well, thanks guys for joining us.
Right, no,
And
thank you. Yeah,
Thank you
thank
very
you for
much.
having us. Yeah, it's
that's
been
no
really
problem
fun.
at all.
Yeah.
And to everyone else, we should see you next week.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, see you next week. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much.